Well, first, congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Absolutely loved it.
Oh, terrific.
What I liked is that it really made me smile, even though it was like confronting quite like bold issues.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's like important in Disney animations, that they can do that within an uplifting story?
Well, I like that about the movie is that we didn't start trying to do that with the movie. It started from a place where we thought, well, it's interesting that in this world of predators and prey, the world of mammals is divided into 90% prey animals and 10% predators. And we thought that's an automatic majority-minority. It's intriguing, and they don't always get along. We thought that's a lot like our world, and we thought, wouldn't it be interesting to have a predator animal and a prey animal who don't know a lot about each other and have a long way to go in their relationship to be able to come together and work as a team. And that's where it really started. Like, we never intended to make a message movie, but what's great about watching Judy learn about herself and learn that her view of the world is a little simpler than it really needs to be is it's a great growth story.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to know just about Zootropolis. Like, how did that come into action, this film? Not just the big idea, but like the incredible detail for each district, like the hamster tubes.
Well, I think that it came from kind of this feeling of wanting to make an animal movie that was unlike other ones. And I can remember as a kid, just personally, movies and cartoons and books, actually, that had animals that dressed like us and had jobs and drove cars, living in a city that just kind of looked like a human city, you know? And as a little kid, I would always think to myself, well, isn't the polar bear hot? You know, like living in a place with no snow? I mean, is he really comfortable in all those clothes and with the sun and everything? So we decided, let's make a city like any kind of world city, you know, today that has, like you would find in Manhattan or London or Paris or anywhere around the world, that there's going to be areas where people kind of congregate where they're comfortable, you know. So let's give the polar bears kind of an Arctic area that we call Tundra Town, or the desert-dwelling animals is kind of Sahara.
That makes sense.
That makes sense, you know. And I was like, wow, I don't think you've ever seen this before.
No one's done it,
So, and we took it really seriously. Like, well, how could a tundra and a desert exist side by side? And we talked to like AC and heating experts that said, like, well, if you spent enough money and you were crazy enough, you could create a divider that would shoot hot air out of one side and cold air out the other. It's kind of, that's the fundamentals of an AC unit, you know. So we're like, okay, well, maybe they have that. And we just kind of like
crazy enough to do
build and build upon these ideas that before you know it, it's like you have this world that feels like, my God, it's fantastic on one side, but it feels real like on another. And that's not even to take into consideration that we're dealing with tons of different scales of animals, from an elephant to a little mouse, you know. So we wanted it to feel like they could coexist, you know, comfortably in this place. So you'll see all these different accommodations to the different scales of animals. It really started like that.
That's fantastic. And I wanted to ask, with like other Disney films, were you influenced at all when you were making this one? Because I know Nick Wilde's a little bit like the Disney version of Robin Hood.
Yeah,
and I wondered if you had one for Judy Paws. Were you influenced? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I think I grew up on Robin Hood. I always loved that film. Really, it's great, right? And then I love Brian Bedford, and I just loved all the great casting in that. And we talked to John Lasseter, and we said, well, we haven't made a movie like that at Disney for a long time, and so could we do that now with CG and make it just incredible? Now we have all the fur and simulation on the cloth, and like Rich was talking about, all the detail in the city, and that was a real challenge for us. But because we wanted to make sure the film and the city felt real, so we have hundreds of thousands of animals in the city. It really feels packed. It feels like London or Rome or New York, but it's what's been incredible is that we have all the great appeal of Disney design in the characters, kind of harkening back to our great animal films. But now it's all wrapped up in the. You said it's like the animal film for the 21st century. I don't
think we could have made this particular film like 10 years ago.
No, or even
5 years ago.
No, even 2 years ago. I'll go more than that.
Wow.
We could not have made this film.
Because, I mean, it was the technology that we have now just to get technical for a moment, is so advanced than where we were 2 years ago. It would have been very difficult to depict a city on this scale as we've done today with what we had 2 years ago.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk about as well, like, this is such an inclusive film. Like, it's great for kids, but also for adults. There's some jokes in there that are so for the adults, like the sloths and the DMV.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Did you ever find it hard, like, maintaining that balance?
Well, that's funny because the kids say, I think the kids look at the sloths and they go, oh, that's funny because they're slow. But the parents go, oh my gosh, I've been in that situation. Every
I can
time
relate
I
to that.
go to
that frustration.
the license office or to the Department of Mammal Vehicles. And it's like, depending on what country it's funny because we've shown it around the world, right?
And everyone gets it. You
Everyone
know,
gets
it's like we were afraid, like, is this an American thing? You know, are we going to lose part of the world with this? We're happy to report that the frustration with bureaucracy is universal. So we're all in that together.
Definitely.
But those are the kinds of things that I know I like and I know Byron likes are films and cartoons and shows that play on lots of different levels, you know. And I know in my career that's always been the goal, is to create entertainment that not only a kid likes but his or her parents, you know, and teenagers in the middle, because I'm like you. I like inclusive comedy. I don't like exclusive comedy. I like this. I think the best stuff is stuff that plays from the youngest up to the oldest.
Yeah, it makes it timeless.
Yeah.
Okay.